What is due diligence? When do you need it? What happens? Want me to answer?
Sure.
You send out a bunch of mail and very intelligently plan for what's going to happen, like all of our members do, I'm sure. And the offers start coming back. So you're staring at a bunch of staring at a bunch of purchase agreements on your desk. What do you do? Which ones do you buy? Well, that's what due diligence is. You need to make sure that they were priced right in the beginning. You need to make sure you can sell it for more than you actually are buying it for. It needs to be fast. You don't want to hold on to the property for very long. You need to know if it has access and things like that. So Jill's going to review what those things are and what her checklist is. But that's really what due diligence is. Should I buy the damn thing?
Right. And where to get the information. A lot of people, I think, are afraid, getting into this because they're like, okay, wait a minute, everyone. How do I know if it's a good thing to buy? What do I look? What if I miss something? What do I check?
We like to think we solved that.
So we're gonna help you with that right now. So first I was going to talk about the first thing is physical review. And boy, I tell you, I don't know how we got by with before we had Parcel Fact. I call it Parcel Fact is our tiny little miracle, and it was in response to pure frustration finding addressless property. It's great for houses. Houses have an address. Info lots typically have an address. I've seen some without.
The vast majority of the 150 million properties that there are in the country have not been assigned a USPS address to receive mail because nobody lives there. It's vacant land.
Right.
And so it's very, very difficult, if not used to be impossible, to find these properties. So we concocted a relational database with some API providers and made that go away entirely. And we're on version 2.0 of it now. I'll show you in a few seconds here.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool.
You're gonna love to see this.
Am I stepping on your toes?
No, this is great. I love it. Okay. Then I'm gonna talk about, all right, you need to do a physical review. You're gonna show us that in a minute. You also need to look for what we call are the 4 A's. This is Jack's own personal, back from the 90s, mental checklist to go through to make sure it's a good property. So what are the 4 A's? Well, they are 1, access. Does it have access? Yes or no? And then you can even take it a step further depending what your buying criteria is. Is it paved? What do you want?
Can you get to it?
Exactly. Can your buyer get to it? Do they need 4-wheel drive? 2, you want to say it?
Go ahead. Acreage.
Okay. Acreage.
The larger the property, the better. It's just the way the internet works.
Attribute.
Go ahead, Joe.
Does it have some special redeeming quality? Like, is it beautiful views? Is it on a lake? Is it close to the Grand Canyon? Can I park my mobile home there? Some kind of attribute.
Yeah. Something that makes it a little bit different.
Yeah. And affordability. This one goes without saying, but it's important to mention.
Cheaper is better for you, and then so you can pass it on to your buyer.
Yeah. So when you're learning and you're doing your due diligence to buy properties, you got to always be thinking of these 4 A's. And especially when you're starting out, make sure it has all the 4 A's. Make it easy. I talked a little bit about, I just threw it in here, info lot buildability. Now we have a company now, if you really want to make it easy, if you're doing info lots, which we cover in Land Academy 2.0.
Info lots are properties that are in a subdivision or in and around already built homes or properties. So you're driving down the street, you see a home, vacant lot, a home. Info lots are very valuable, and you can buy them for very little amount of money. You can hit some home runs with info lots.
Yep.
The question always becomes, when you get a purchase agreement back on let's say $5,000 purchase agreement on a property is worth $50,000. Very frequent. Can I build on it? Where are the utilities? I really need to make sure that before I buy this thing, that I can make some money. Then you order an info report, which we started with another member, Mike Marshall, who works for LA County.
Exactly. Then paper review. One of the things you want to think about is ownership. So you want to confirm, we use Title Pro 24/7, which by the way is free to our members. You made sure you looked at the property, you know it has access, you know you can get to it, you got all that physical part of it. Now you want to make sure, can I buy it? Can I properly convey it? How do I do? Am I talking to the right person? So that's like ownership. You need to make sure too that you're talking to the person who can make the decision. Do they really own it? Are all the signers alive and able to sign? And I'll talk more about that in a minute. You're going to check the chain of title and you're going to check for liens and all these things. I'm just kind of dancing around the top, but just things for you to know when you do your due diligence. Yeah. So, and I made a little list here too. I had this printed out for all of our members, and they can go online and get this and print this out. And it's Due Diligence 101. So you can kind of have it on your desk. Here are the steps you need to real quick make a quick assessment. So like we talked about, the offers go out, they come back, you quickly want to go, okay, do I want to buy this or not?
Yeah.
So I want you to do these 6 things real quick, and then you're going to either pass or you're going to move it to the next level. And like I said, too, one is you're going to confirm ownership. Am I speaking with a person who can make the decision, and are all the owners alive and able to sign? We go into more deeply with that, like I just mentioned in Title Pro, but when you're just doing your real quick due diligence, use Parcel Fact. And Jack's going to show us here in a minute when he pulls it up, and you can see how we do it. Confirm the size. Is it really, 4.9 acres? I really thought it was hitting 5 acres. Did I get it right? Confirm the access. Check for attributes again that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Confirm the tax situation. This is when you want to make sure you know ahead of time real quick too. You can ask the seller, but I want to take it one more step. So I'll ask the seller, but I'll also confirm it myself by either going on the county website, if I can check myself, or I can pick up the phone and call them. It's very easy to do that. And then confirm the offer price. Is the offer
It's a good
price?
list, Jill. It's a good, quick, fast 6-step list.
If you printed this out and had this on your desk, every time an offer came in and just went through real quick, you will quickly go, all right, now I love it or I hate it already, and I'm not going to waste my time.
I mean, the comparison values always change, but for rural land, you'll use LandWatch, Land and Farm, Realtor.com, and sometimes Redfin. Mm-hmm. That's what they are now.
Thank you. So yeah, and think of a cursory overview, and then you move it to the next level for more in-depth due diligence. So thanks. So now I'm going to pass this over to Jack. He is going to show you Parcel Fact. He's going to pull up a land and a house example, just kind of show you how great this is.
It's a quick little overview of what's actually like in my Parcel Fact, in my history. And it has to do with properties that we have reviewed or we're buying, or it has to do with properties that we have reviewed on our Thursday webinar with either our regular and advanced land investor call or a House Academy call.
Yep.
Here's a property in Orange County that we're taking seriously, if not buying. I can't remember. It's a house. It just happened. That was the first one.
Yep. This is something too that all of us have open on our computers all day, every day.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
It's true.
I just over-clicked on it. But that's okay. That's okay. You can see the data set for this house, this SFR. It's got a ton of the cursory. Click of a button, you can see what the information that it's got: tax value, who sold it. Right. In this case, we do have the sale information. They paid $375 for it, or in 1991. Mm-hmm. We're looking at it obviously for a lot more than that. What's great about Parcel Fact 2.0 in this situation is this: well, what's going on with the next neighbor, the next door neighbor? And you can see here's all the information for the next door neighbor. Mm-hmm. And on and on and on, scroll out. In fact, you could scroll to a different state and click on anything that you'd like and really see, get a real good feel for what people have paid. Is it a good place to get comps? Not yet, but it's a great place to see who owns what and what's going on with the neighborhood. And a huge benefit to Parcel Fact 2.0 is that 50% of the properties that get sold in this country get sold to friends and family or owners of properties within a 1 mile radius. Yeah. So that's who's going to buy your property. So there's your data set. I mean, this gets you a huge jump on who's going to buy this property after you buy it, mm-hmm. as long as it's priced right. We can take a look at, again, that's a house example.
This is one of the reasons this right here for me is like the best thing on the planet, because back in the day when we were pulling up parcels and all you have is, range, township, the first fourth of the whatever it is of the section, I'm trying to say, yeah. You only have a legal description, and it was hard to find some properties. Now you just put in state, county, APM, boom, here it is.
The vast majority of the properties, and this happens to not be one just by chance, don't have an address, like Jill just said. So this is a property that you can see it's got access. You can look at topography. There's a lot of information down here about utility presence. It depends on the assessor jurisdiction that you're dealing with, but you can actually take this GPS coordinate and slap it into Google Earth. I'm not sure if it's going to come out, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
We'll see how it comes out live on this broadcast. Oop.
we felt lucky back in the day when we figured out with Agent Pro, and we have Title Pro. We have the step up from Agent Pro 24/7 that we share with all our members. But we felt lucky when we got just the center point GPS coordinate back then. Now we have the whole. If you look when you're playing with Parcel Fact, it's the whole thing. And most properties are not a square or a rectangle. It's amazing.
So you can see the topography and the access to this property. This already immediately really seriously passes a lot of my tests, the roads here. So, and then what's going on across the street. So now it's like you're sitting there staring at a purchase agreement, looking at this information saying, you know what? I think I can resell this because I'm going through the same thought process that a buyer will, that my buyer will. So you can check the quality that way. And then we'll do one more. This is actually a pretty amazing tool that Jill and I concocted together and our team. Here's a really rural property and if you're in our group, you already know these are the kinds that come in all the time. Four and a half acres. They live in Indian River, Michigan, but the property is in, I think, Arizona here. Arizona Park Estates, probably Apache County. And so you can see this is a very logical candidate to sell it to the person next door.
Right.
So here's Herman, Josephine, Harry Wood. Here's their mailing address. It's this very easy way to click around this property and find out exactly what's going on. So I love your little six-step thing though. That's cool.
Thank you.
So that's kind of that's a real quick view of what Parcel Fact's all about.